Hello and welcome to Ageless Rock, a channel for megalithic fans with megalithic lands. Today, we are going to check out another temple on the far end of Cambodia. It is near the border close to Thailand. It is in the more tranquil province of Banteay Toap, which means Fortress of Victory. This video is about a temple called Banteay Toap. It is in the north of Banteay Toap province, which is in north of Cambodia, sharing the border with Thailand. This little known temple comes with many names, but they all come to mean army. So this is also known as Fortress of the Army. Banteay Toap Temple and Banteay Chmar Temple are in the district of Temapok. You can check out my video on Banteay Chmar Temple from my Cambodia playlist. The not famous temples are in the not famous district in a not famous province. So it is a good thing for tourists if you want the entire temple to yourself. This temple and beret is a strange combination. We are not sure if the beret is natural or man-made. The north and west boundary is just based on the color of the soil. You can see that the possible beret is like a trapezoid in shape. If this beret was a man-made rectangle, it could have been 1.4 kilometers long by 700 meters wide. A massive undertaking of almost 1 million square meters or 242 acres dug a few meters deep just to contain water for religion and agricultural purpose, which I highly doubt it ever happened. This temple starts with a controversial outline where you can see from a satellite view. There is a square-looking outline. We all know there is something going on here, but we don't know what it is. If I were to describe this shape, it would be a rectangle measuring 2.4 kilometers long by 2.1 kilometers wide. I strongly believe that this view is the result of the remnants of what was once a moat. The southwest and southeast corner of the rectangle seems to give us a clue it was an area dug for a moat. The entire interior of this rectangle is now well raked for agriculture. The raised structure that you see from the satellite view is now a useful unpaved laterite road with both sides being used for agriculture. Nothing here will give you any clue that it has to do with lost civilization. This temple is confusing even at about 5,000 feet above ground level. It has reassuring borders measuring approximately 800 meters long by 500 meters wide. But south side seems to have extended unpaved roads toward west, while the west side has unpaved road extended toward the south. If there is any indication of a moat, it will be on the west side of the temple. If that was the case, it will only be about 20 meters wide. At this point, there are laterite wall of the third enclosure measuring 720 meters long by 440 meters wide. Inside the third enclosure, there is a moat measuring 225 meters long by 210 meters wide. This sacred area requires 47,250 square meters of land. But that is not complete without digging a moat. The moat is about 40 meters wide based on my estimate from satellite view. The inside of the moat is the second laterite wall enclosure measuring about 135 meters long by 110 meters wide based on my satellite view estimate. This is an area of 14,850 square meters used for the temple. Based on this rough estimate, I can say that Banteay Toap Temple is about 70% water and 30% land. This is an interesting ratio for future reference. If a body of water is required to achieve certain function of energy, we will never know. Upon entering from the east, going past second enclosure, You will reach the sanctuary through a gopura. Within the inner first enclosure, there are 5 towers inside. The towers are all connected by corridors. This temple is also noted for the tower formation commonly known as quincunx formation. It is like the 5 towers at Angkor Wat. However, this quincunx formation is different from Angkor Wat because the corner is facing north instead of the side. Quincunx formation is also a topic for those who believe in aliens because they are found in crop circles. This formation is a subject for tombs in Japan, religion in India, and unknown purpose in Easter Island. Our mind probably will never know what they are for because we cannot see things beyond our three-dimensional world. Here is an interesting comparison for future reference. Angkor Wat has a 1,500 meters long moat, while Banteay Toap temple is only 225 meters long. Angkor Wat has about 40% temple area and 60% moat area. Banteay Toap is about 30% temple area and 70% moat area. This calculation is just a rough estimate and can be completely wrong as you adjust the accuracy. I am thinking the ratio of moat and land is an intelligent design for a purpose. You can see the moat clearly from the eastern side. If this is restored by digging only 2 meters deep, it will be a very nice nostalgic view going back 1000 years ago. Beyond this moat, there were 5 towers that once stood tall and majestic, but you don't expect to see that today. A modern temple stood in contrast, showing how an architecture which is hardly what we can do today, just by comparing the complexity alone. We are not sure if this fortress of the army has anything to do with military in ancient times, but Temapok district was a big military base during the civil war in the 70s. Nothing at Banteay Toap is certain except tropical plants can grow everywhere very fast, including the top of the tower. The towers are 35 meters tall and sits on a sandstone platform which is on laterite platform. The trees must come down so that the towers can rise up against the blue sky. Roots inching into the polygonal stones will eventually rip them apart and turn them into rubble. This temple is close to Bayon style of Angkor Wat, but the top of the towers do not have the typical 4 faces on each side. No one knows why it is like that. The West Tower is the most resilient to destruction by nature. Even that, it is unsafe to go too near as it may collapse anytime. Growing vegetation keeps creeping into the stones, ripping them at unnoticeable pace. This tower will soon be a pile of rubble if not restored. Only 3 towers are left standing precariously, waiting for either trees to rip them apart or government to restore them. No one knows anything meaningful about this site. The link to King Jayavarman VII is just an intelligent guess based on the Bayon-looking towers. But even that, without the 4 faces on the tower, we remain puzzled. If you climb around virtually with megalithic lens, you can see that there are blocks with striations that are not from 1,000-year-old chisels. These long and straight striations with even gaps can be found all over ancient megalithic sites. To produce such tool mark, you must first have a very powerful tool, or it was soft like clay during production. You can check out my video on this comparison under Compare playlist. If you look at the big picture, about 5 square kilometers were used for a temple at northeast quadrant. Even more ridiculous is that the sanctuary is only 0.0047 square kilometer. Am I supposed to believe that King Jayavarman VII got his people to clear a vast area of land but only needed about 0.1% for a sanctuary? This project is so enormous, even the sanctuary represented by the red dot is a little too big. If the beret is included in the project, that will add 1 square kilometer to the area and a whole lot more digging for a water tank. As far as archaeology is concerned, we have nothing solid about the temple and even less about the beret. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on the baffling fortress and its mysterious army that probably never exists at Banteay Toap. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Bernie Ong signing out. Lei Hai.